Conference standings. Welcome, everybody. American Express Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson, Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Chuck is here. We talked at length in the pregame show about the trade deadline.
Can't stop talking about
everything that Cleveland did.
Can't stop talking.
Can't stop talking.
No.
What do you want to say that you didn't say earlier?
I think overall, these games right now is leading up to the All-Star break is now somewhat irrelevant because the All-Star break is going to dictate from that point forward what happens. And
as the Cavs incorporate Jordan Clarkson.
Yes.
And Larry Nance.
Yep.
And Rodney Hood.
Without question.
And George Hill.
It's a lot of guys incorporated in one season.
And this is the only thing that it's the only thing you worry about, Charles, is, it's a great players like Paul George has time to implement. These are guys who are good players. They're not great players as Paul George.
That's going to help them. Well, they don't have the responsibility. They all know they're role players. Like, it's hard to incorporate a star. Like, when the season started, he was deferring to Paul and Carmelo instead of being the top dog. That's the problem. All these guys who are good players, they're role players.
Complementary.
Role players. But you think about it, it's still going to come down to LeBron. Kevin Love's going to come back. Those guys are not going to have neither responsibility. But the main thing, there's not a single guy on that left side of that page was doing anything in Cleveland. You look at that left side. There's not one guy on that left side.
I have a question for you.
Sure you can, sir.
And if Kevin Love comes back, obviously,
yes.
LeBron is there, you got these new guys. There's still the Kyrie Irving void that's missing.
Yes.
Like, who's taking that role and going to fit into that role? Because that role has not been filled. And Isaiah Thomas was supposed to fill that role.
Well, first of all, Isaiah Thomas can't fill
I think injuries couldn't fill it.
No, he's not a good player as Kyrie.
I'm just saying Chuck, in terms of the scoring, not a good as player. I agree.
Usually, you got to have a great 1-2 punch, right? But the champs, they got a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch.
Shaq, they wasn't going to win the East the way they were constructed. Toronto, and like I say, Boston picked up Greg Monroe, who I think he's seeing tonight. He's going to help them. I still think they're going to get Gordon Hayward back. These little cryptic tweets they're sending out with him, he's shooting basketball. I think he's coming back before the end of the season. But if Cleveland didn't do something, they wasn't going to get out of the first round of the playoffs. They would have kept dropping.
Why'd you like what Denver did on trade deadline day?
I saw the two trades they picked up.
Well, they got Devin Harris.
Who I'm a big Devin Harris fan.
Yeah.
He's older. He's older now.
Yeah, but the other kid, Moutier, who they were trading, he wasn't doing anything. And I like Devin Harris. That Denver team, man, they play so hard.
Yeah, they play hard.
They do. And I
like their team, but I don't know if the trade makes them that much better.
No, I'm just saying it makes them better because Devin Harris is a veteran guy.
Brings a lot of postseason experience.
And that's what Denver needed because they got a bunch of young guys. I like that.
And it's good for Moutier because he was down playing, but he wasn't being in the same role. And, the kid from Kentucky obviously came in and did his job there.
And I'm glad you showed me that trade because I made a mistake also because I thought they got McDermott in that deal also.
No, he went to Dallas.
Dallas, yeah. I made a mistake there. But I like getting Devin Harris, but I thought they got McDermott also. That's my mistake.
Let's hit the American Express teammates from the first half of this Boston-Washington game. The number 1 team and the number 4 team in the Eastern Conference, and Bradley Beal and Otto Porter Jr. combining for 26 points. Washington has 13 assists on their 19 made field goals. This is something that we talked about last week, Shaq, that you have John Wall, who's injured now, but John Wall was number 2, number 3 in the league in assists, but the assist numbers have gone up for Washington since Wall has been out.
It's been a couple subliminal tweets sent out ever since they went on their 5-game winning streak. And basically, when you're playing with a ball-dominant guy, you don't get the ball all the time. So now that the ball-dominant guy's not there, the other guys do what they do best. They move the ball. And when you're moving the ball, Kenny, Chuck, you know this, everybody eats. And when everybody's eating, they play harder, they run harder. Mike Scott usually doesn't run like that. Right here, we're not going to dribble between our legs. We're going to make the next play. We're going to make the right play. Everybody's eating. Boom, control, dribble, shot. If you got the shot, take it, but we don't want you doing too much dribbling. Let's keep moving the rock.
But
Let's keep everybody involved. And
but you're not insinuating that they're better without John Wall.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, so like, like when I watch Kenny, like Kenny had the ability, because he's from New York, to put between his legs 6, 7 times, but he didn't do that. He made the boom, boom, and then he moved the ball. John Wall, at times, he does a little too fancy, and it gets other players out of rhythm. When you got the ball hopping and skipping, guys can be in rhythm.
Ernie, every time a coach or another player is something to you, it's not a criticism, it's coaching. Those other players, they said it, I think they shouldn't have went as public as they have been, because they shouldn't put John Wall in a situation to have to defend himself.
Right.
But John Wall can learn, like, okay, maybe I need to take less dribbles, try to get Otto involved, try to get Martin involved. Like,
because he can get his shot anytime he wants.
Anytime he wants.
So he's just learning what you probably learned in your 4th or 5th year. Said, you know what? I could get other guys involved this way.
Yes.
And help them this way.
Just because you can get a shot don't mean you, like, I hope John Wall listens. Like my girl Judge Judy says, you hear, but you got to listen. There's a difference.
Thank you for the
Name dropper
reference.
I love Judge Judy.
Judge Mathis, what's up, baby?
Hey, Judge Mathis, I love him too now.
Back with more in a second.